So what's going on, everybody? I am following up to a video I released recently about Call of Duty versus Battlefield, and there's been a new update. Apparently, they are raising the price of the Game Pass for Xbox. Now, I was considering getting an Xbox just because I'm kind of getting into gaming, streaming, and things like that, and I kind of want to try my hand at it. And it's been long enough now that a lot of people just can stream on either one platform, and there's some crossplay involved. So when I was looking up the prices of the Xbox hardware, I was surprised that it had not only increased in price, it had increased significantly. Some people are very frustrated with Xbox Game Pass because they have increased the price and changed the tiers around. So now you have to pay for the full access. You have to pay $360 for the Ultimate Game Pass. What I find crazy about this is that this is just so expensive. And if you have no problem with money, then this video is probably not for you. I understand that. People have to be kind of picky with what they spend their money on. And to me, the value is not there. I don't see any value in spending $30 a month on 400 plus games, which I can't really have the time to play. I'm going to play a few games and that's that. Apparently the mid-tier, or I guess the most valuable premium Xbox Game Pass, is not going to include Call of Duty titles. So that means you cannot play any of the Call of Duty titles unless you get the top tier Game Pass, which I find is kind of frustrating. And some of these games are pretty old. In fact, I'm playing Black Ops Cold War footage because that was the last Black Ops that I played. And I played it again last night, and the zombies mode was fun, but multiplayer was not so fun. But generally, I just don't see the value in it. And I've actually looked at some of the old games on the actual store just to see, if maybe I could pick up one of these older games that I missed just to see if they're any good. I never played Ghosts. I did play a little bit of Infinite Warfare, but didn't really get into it. But those games are still basically full price. Full price for games that are really old. So what this means is that you have to really, really be dedicated to play these types of games. And, again, I said recently, vote with your wallet, and a lot of people are opting out. There's been apparently a shutdown of the cancellation of the Xbox Game Pass. A lot of people canceled. They're frustrated and they canceled. And, say what you will, they're probably not going to back down on this. There's going to be enough people that just go ahead and stick with it because, they don't care about how much it costs. But I find this very, very troubling because I don't want to not have fun, and especially if the games are subpar. The recent Call of Duty event seemed to be pretty uninspiring and not making me want to play the game. And I don't know, I used to have fun with this franchise, and I just don't anymore. And I understand that this is beating a dead horse. I understand that. A lot of people just there's another person on YouTube complaining about Call of Duty. I get it. You're probably tired of hearing that. But I feel bad for people that were into the franchise that are a little bit older. People that are younger, they don't care. They just play. And that doesn't mean that I'm lumping everybody together. There's going to be people that are just be like, no, I don't care. Maybe there's like a 18-year-old kid who's just like, I don't want to play this game. Screw that. It's too expensive. If you have been a fan of Call of Duty and you've been loyal to the brand, even with all its problems, and they are now adding insult to injury by increasing the price of admission to play this game, which is arguably a lot of recycled content. It is so recycled. It feels like Battlefield 6 is going to be the clear winner in this, contest. And you know what? At the end of the day, that actually helps us as the consumer or the customer, because this competition will make people wake up and say, yeah, I don't want to spend $70 on Call of Duty 7. I want to spend $70 on, Battlefield 6. And I mean Black Ops 7, sorry. But this kind of just price switcheroo right before the beta launches is a little corporate scummy. I don't like that. But I don't play on Xbox, and I'm certainly not going to go buy an Xbox now. In fact, I've heard that you cannot buy an Xbox at some places. They just stopped carrying them. You'd think the price would go down, and maybe they say, hey, maybe you can get a Game Pass with this bundle. No, it's all itemized out. And it's frustrating to be a fan of this series and have these kind of things happen. But the market will decide what happens. If people want to play it, they're going to play it. And if people don't, they don't. There's going to be a lot of videos coming out. I've unfortunately just can't afford to jump into it. I'm not going to purchase the game or pre-order the game just so I can play the beta early. I'll do the free beta, see how that goes, and maybe something will change. Maybe something will, turn me around. But right now I'm not feeling it, and I feel like a lot of customers are going to do the same thing. But that's just a little bit of an unscripted rant. I don't really have anything to add other than other people are saying the same thing. They're just like, why is this happening? It's because they're looking at their bottom line. It's a business and they want to make money, and they are banking that people will still, be loyal and keep playing. But what matters is you play the game you want to play, and you have the choice to not play this game. You can play something completely different. You could skip both of the AAA titles and do something, completely independent, which is where I think a lot of games and films are going. And I said that in my last video, but I am repeating that. I think indie games are where it's at. If you guys know of any games that I'm missing out on that I should try, please let me know, because I have been interested in trying out some new games. I've kind of been on a Helldivers GTA 5 kind of kick, and then also doing a lot of the retro games. But I'm interested in playing some new ones if they are fun. I want games to be fun. I don't want them to be a monetized scandal hitting the news waves all the time. So anyways, I hope you guys are having a good day. And if you do play Call of Duty or you are getting the beta, let me know how it is. I'd like to hear what your guys' thoughts are. Thanks for watching.